Hi guys, it's Miss Thurston, and I wanted to record a little bit of a video for you in order to continue our notes on text structure. On Tuesday, we talked about what text structure was and the purpose of it. And we talked about how text structure was the way an author arranged a text in order for a reader to better comprehend whatever point that they were trying to get across to the reader, and the and that text and that each text structure was specific to their purpose for that particular point that they were trying to get across. And on Tuesday, we talked about how that there were five main text structures. And now I want to talk about each of those five main text structures. So turn to your notes in your INB, and we're going to continue those notes. Now, if you have room on your INB, you can continue those on the bottom of the page, but I suspect that you're probably pretty full with those notes as they are. So if you turn to the next page, remember, we're not going to write on the back of that page. Anytime you have to continue an assignment, you're going to go to the very next page, because we always write on the right and we save the left for reflection. And we're going by assignment number up here on the upper right hand corner, not page number. So this is a continuation of assignment number 1. And we are going to set up our notes in Cornell style. So even though mine's a legal pad and not a composition book, it still has um, the red line here in your composition book. And we're going to make it a 2-column composition for the Cornell style, with big ideas and vocabulary on the left, definition and notes on the right. And oop, there goes my camera. Not good. We'll fix that just real quick. And we'll continue our notes. Okay, so we're going to talk about the big 5 that we talked about in class on Tuesday. So the types of text structure. And the first type of text structure that we're going to talk about is, of course, description. In description, it is exactly what it sounds like. It allows the reader, it gives a description in order to give the reader a mental picture or a mental image of the topic. Now, the other thing we talked about were looking for those key signal words that said, hey, this is the type of text structure that the author chose to arrange his information in this particular passage. So for each of these types of text structure, we're going to give just a few of the signal words that can go with that. So we're going to do that in the right side of our Cornell notes for each of these types of text structures. So for the signal words, and again, I'm not going to list all the signal words. I'm going to give you just a few. If you see words like for instance, looks like, features, made up of, characteristics, specifically, for example, and beside. Again, these are just a few of the signal words that say, hey, this might be a description type of text structure. There are more. The second type of text structure is sequence and order. Woo, there went that camera. My apologies. And sequence and order sounds exactly like the name says. It explains how to do or make something in a specific order. I'm going to read that definition again. Explains how to do or make something in a specific order. What immediately came to your mind? Did things like recipes, instruction manuals, maybe guidebooks come to your mind? Well, I hope they did, because that's exactly what sequence and order should do. Those types of informational texts rely heavily on sequence and order. So for those signal words, think about your ordinal numbers from math, those that signal order, like first, second, third. Those are going to be used heavily in a sequence and order type of paper. Think of your transition words when you're doing an essay. And expand your repertoire when it comes to your transition words. Use use bigger words besides next also. Think of things like initially, lastly. Use some of that higher level vocabulary now that you're in the 8th grade. Our third type of text structure is one that is often very difficult to identify because it's confused with another type of text structure, and that is our problem and solution. Problem and solution often gets confused with cause and effect because not only do their signal words overlap, but because people think that the problem will then affect the problem that is the cause and the solutions are the effects. No, you've got to see what the author is proposing and look at the very definition. The definition of a problem and solution paper might seem off it, or text structure, excuse me, a problem and its solution. But the thing is that if you are a good writer or you are a good arguer, you're going to propose more than one solution. That is why we have this parentheses with S, because there's always a possibility that you're going to have more than one solution. And if you're practicing rhetoric, which means the art of speaking, you're going to present more than one solution. So any good problem solution paper is going to present more than one solution here. And so their signal words will have, so they're going to use more than one signal word in order to show good rhetoric or that you've thought out and really researched your problem and solution. So not only are you going to see the word problem, you're going to see its synonyms such as dilemma, difficulty, but you'll also see its antonyms: answer, solve, as a result of, in order to, advantage. And of course, disadvantage. Just two more to go. Again, our fourth text structure is the one that is most often confused with problem solution, and that is cause and effect. Think of your cause as an event. An event occurs, and then there's an aftermath, whether it be positive, negative, but there's always ripples. Think of it as a stone dropping into a lake. The stone is your event, and the ripples are what happens after that stone drops into the lake. Those are the effects of the stone dropping into the lake. So your cause is your event, the effects are the ripples. So just because the stone dropped into the lake doesn't mean that there necessarily was a problem. It just meant that an event occurred. So a cause and effect paper isn't necessarily a problem. It just means that an event occurred. So a cause and effect text structure describes a reason or event and its effects. Nothing ever happens without some sort of ripple happening afterwards. So now we're going to start to see some of these signal words overlapping. That's why we've got to also look at the subject matter and those other text features. Oh, excuse me. To see exactly what the text structure is. Signal words: because, causes, therefore, as a result of, consequently, influenced by, and then let's talk about our if then statements. If, then, then we can have a when something happens, then something else happens, leads to, on account of. All strong signal words that a cause and effect paper or cause and effect text structure is being used versus a problem solution. Last one, and perhaps the most difficult to see, is a compare and contrast. And a compare and contrast is not a straight pro con, a good versus bad. And it's not always just how they are alike and how they are similar, or how they are alike and how they are not alike. It's comparing features. You cannot possibly compare every single thing of two objects. It's just not possible. So you want to hone in on specific elements of two or more things. In other words, you want to pick the most important things in order to make your case about both of those items that you're comparing or big ideas. If you're comparing dogs and cats as viable pets, you want to compare just specific aspects like their ease of care, their personalities, those kinds of things. You can't possibly go over every single aspect or you'll lose your reader. So the signal words for this, again, you're going to start seeing some overlap. Both, also, to, just as, instead of, despite, similarly, different from. We are going to practice more and more with these text structures in the upcoming weeks. So don't forget to put these, after you put these, all right, I got this. After you finish putting these in your interactive notebook, don't forget to take a picture, upload it to Canvas in order to get full credit. Have a wonderful day. I will see you on Thursday. And if I don't see you on Thursday, I will definitely see you on Friday, depending on how testing goes for the next days. Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.